breathe with all my chest for the first time. My journey was beginning and I was stepping into the new world. It's like a refuge from the everyday life. My mind was totally obsessed with the landscape, but I've never felt alone. Friends, people, travelers, everything was around me. It was just me and real history with all its enchanting glory. Just the most mesmerizing picture I have ever seen in my life. So realistic, I tried to listen close to the voice of mountains, voice of water, the voice of nature. Time will tell. I will come back here soon.
Okay, well, hello everyone, and of course, a happy World Ranger Day. It's been an incredible day so far, meeting rangers and talking to different organizations all around the world. Asia, Africa, South America, Europe. It's been just amazing to hear the stories of rangers, hear about their dedication, and all of the incredible work that they're doing. And what really stands out is their passion for their job. And so it's great to be doing this festival, year one, and doing our best to raise awareness and recognition for rangers all over the world. So we're going to travel to an amazing part of the world right now. We're going to head to Georgia, and we're going to meet a few rangers there who are going to tell us a little bit about their jobs as rangers, a little bit about the landscapes that they work in. So I think it's going to be a really great opportunity to meet some really great rangers, some dedicated, passionate individuals. So first I want to bring in to join us Khatuna. And Khatuna, I'm going to bring her in right now. Here we go. Hi, Khatuna. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thanks. And first of all, I want to thank organizers of World Ranger Day for giving me and my Georgian colleague chance to participate in this global festival and to talk about brave Georgian Rangers. Thank you very much for this.
Of course, it's absolutely our honor to have you and your colleagues joining us. And yeah, it's great to see you. And I think the best place to start is why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thanks. So I'm Khatuna Katsarava, and I represent Kolkhati National Park. And let me talk shortly about history of protected areas of Georgia. Actually, Georgians always knew that nature is worth of protection. Even in 12th century, Queen Tamar introduced royal decree to protect certain lands. And 500 years later, in 17th century, there was law book in which certain areas were included, where it was prohibited to cut trees or even walk. And men were appointed to protect these areas for disturbances. So the first official nature reserve was opened in 1912. And right now we have 93 protected areas in Georgia. These 93 protected areas are managed by 20 administrations. So the total area of protected land is about 670,000 hectares. That is almost 10% of whole Georgia's land. So protected areas have different goals, like protection and development of protected areas, conservation, monitoring, and sustainable management of natural resources, also scientific research and monitoring, ecotourism development, also public relations and eco-education, and supporting agrotourism. So I want to share with you one great news. On 26 July, Kolchik rainforest and the wetlands We are officially inscripted on the UNESCO World Heritage List. It is very important because it's first natural area that is UNESCO site. So we are very happy about that. So these Kolkhik wetlands and rainforests consists of seven component parts, and the total area is 32,000 hectares, and about 27,000 hectares is buffer zone. And this UNESCO the site is located in four different protected areas of Georgia. And also I want to give you short information about this UNESCO site. So it consists of two Ramsar sites as well, and is also very important area for birds. And we have it is one of the WWF's 200 eco region and the Center for Plant Biodiversity, as well as other key biodiversity areas, birds, endemic species, and freshwater biodiversity. Also, these areas are characterized with high level of endemism and species richness. And species record include approximately 1,100 plant species and 500 species of vertebrates, 327 bird species, 67 mammals, 15 reptiles, 10 amphibians, etc. From these seven component parts, the largest part is Kolkhik rainforest that ranges from 250 meters up to 2,750 meters. And it is mostly a dense mosaic of 24 forest associations with a prominent evergreen understory with streams, rivers, and some lower alpine grassland. So, and the forest vegetation is also very distinctive. So now let's switch to rangers. Do you have any specific questions, or should I continue about the work that rangers do?
Yeah, I mean, first, I want to thank you for that great overview of Georgia's protected areas, and congratulations on the new UNESCO World Heritage Site. That must be pretty exciting, and it sounds just like an incredible place. So again, big congratulations on Georgia's first UNESCO World Heritage Site. Very cool. So yeah, I mean, I would love to dive into rangers a little bit. So I'd love to start off with how long have you been a ranger for, and where are you currently working?
Okay, so I started working in Kolkhati National Park in 2008. So it's my 13th year, and I'm the head of administrative division here. Mostly I also organize some eco-educational events and activities, and I work very actively with students, starting from kindergarten students and elementary students, high school students, and university students. And I organize many eco camps, and I'm the former of youth ambassador rangers programs that allowed students from this area to participate in eco-educational activities, as well as they had chance to spend time with park rangers. We actively cooperate with educational institutions, with eco clubs, with universities, researchers, so on.
All right. Well, traditionally the field of rangers has been, very male dominated. So I'm wondering, what it was like to be a female ranger in Georgia, and is the amount of female rangers increasing?
Yeah, we have few female rangers in Georgia, but actually we are encouraging young girls to try themselves in national parks. For example, the eco projects that I organized gave chance of young Georgian girls to spend several days in national parks. For example, we had eco camps for girls, and the goal was to motivate Georgian girls and to give them chance to come to national parks, spend several days with rangers, and I think it was very fruitful projects because some of girls who participated in our eco camps now they are studying environmental education in universities, and they want to become park rangers one day.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, I hope that one day we will have more um, uh, girl rangers in Georgian national parks.
Well, it sounds like a great program, and a great way to reach youth, teaching them about conservation and protecting, the important areas in Georgia. So I have no doubt that there'll be more female rangers in the near future. So very, very great, very great. So maybe we can take a minute and talk a little bit about the role of a ranger in Georgia. Is there kind of a typical role, or do rangers find themselves doing a lot of different jobs?
Yes, actually, the rangers do lots of works. Let's start that in four protected areas of Georgia that share UNESCO site. Totally, we have 50 rangers. We have 8 chief rangers, and we have four heads of law enforcement divisions, and we have 5 natural resource specialists. The roles of rangers is very wide. Mostly, they do 24 hours patrolling to protect their areas from illegal activities like hunting, illegal fishing, illegal tree hunting, tree cutting, also littering. In different protected areas, we have different ecosystems. So it means that they have a different specific patrolling. For example, in Kolkhati National Park, rangers do boat patrolling a lot because we have big lakes, rivers, and most of the area is wetland and swamp forest. But in high mountains, rangers do use horses for patrolling and walk a lot. So rangers also take great part in biodiversity monitoring, and also they organize a lot meetings with locals. It is informational meetings and discussions to give them information about prohibited activities in protected areas. And I should say that there is mostly good collaboration between rangers and local population. Also, rangers organize and take part in many awareness raising activities like cleaning ups, tree planting, and they work a lot with students, elementary school students, high school students, and university students. And also, they work a lot with researchers. Also, rangers in Georgia are involved in eco tourism services, and many of them provide many different ecotourism services. So their roles are pretty wide, and the work they do is really very priceless and very meaningful.
Yeah, absolutely. No question. And, what a great description, and just, a wide variety of challenging things, from long hours to, open landscapes, monitoring biodiversity, and of course, upholding the laws as well. So that's amazing. So Khatuna, I think what we'll do now is I'm going to introduce your colleague, Vaza, and we're going to talk to him for a couple minutes. And get to know him a little bit. And then I'll bring you back in again, because I know you have a special guest who's going to join us in a little bit.
Yes.
All right. Excellent. So I'm going to tuck you backstage for the moment, and I'm going to bring Vaza in with us now. Here we go. Hi, Vaza. How are you?
Hello, Joe. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. And, I'd love to start if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us where you are right now.
Hello to everyone. I am Vajiko Khochiashvili from Georgia. I am a ranger of Vashlovani protected areas. Our national park is located the extreme southeast part of Georgia, along the border of Azerbaijan. Vashlovani protected area is the only protected area in Georgia which have a European diploma. And one more time, it underlines the unique value of ecosystem, our national park, and also good management. Vashlovani protected areas where I'm working includes 3 different categories. It's state reserve, it's national park, and 3 nature monuments. I am working as a ranger already 12 years, and during this time being ranger formed as my lifestyle, not only work. When I was studying at school, I wanted to be a doctor. But once I participated in Young Rangers program, and after first traveling in Vashlovani, I felt and I decided that it will be my future work. That's why after finishing school, I started studying in university on biology, little later on ecology, and now I'm making my PhD about wildlife of Vashlovani. During my working as a ranger, first 4 years I was a guide in Vashlovani National Park, and since 2013 I am working on direction of monitoring of biodiversity, and mainly on a project of reintroduction gazelles in Georgia. This project is organized by Agency of Protected Areas and by WWF Georgia, with the support of relevant organizations of Georgia and Azerbaijan. With this transboundary project, and it's a good example of cross-border cooperation of protecting nature. With gazelle population disappeared from Georgia about 50 years ago, and now with this project we have a chance to restore this population with Georgia, because for our ecosystem it's very important. Now we have about 200 animals already.
Oh, great. Yeah. And so you mentioned that your role has a lot to do with monitoring of biodiversity, and I wonder how are things going in the place where you're working? Is levels of biodiversity kind of staying the same? Is the protection working? Is it starting to climb? How are things looking?
Yes, my main direction is monitoring of biodiversity. Every ranger in our administration have its own job. Some of rangers working on protection of the territory. On our national park, we have about 12 ranger stations where rangers are living during 1 week. And after 1 week, we are changing. And I'm traveling in national parks several days per week. I am installing photo traps. I'm getting place in different researches with scientists from university, foreign scientists also, and after analysis of our results, we can say how many animals we have, which population, brown bear, lynx, gazelles, wolves, and after this we can plan any project of support them.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, absolutely great, amazing. Vaja, I'm wondering about, Khatuna talked a little bit about some of the challenges rangers face out in the field. So I'm wondering, what is it about being a ranger that maybe you find most challenging? But then I'd also love to hear a story of a time that you're really proud of, something that made you really proud to be a ranger.
Yes, I think at first that being ranger, it's not only work, it's a mission for your country to protect its nature and to protect its future. And when you feel that it's such important job, it's getting very easy to be a ranger, despite that with conditions working in the field. It's not easy, and we had many rangers who could not work the whole time because if you don't love nature, if you don't feel it as your own, it's very difficult to stay during weeks in the wild. And I think for me, I am very happy that I have possibility to be a ranger, and now my work it's my hobby, and that's why it's easy and very pleasant for me to work in the field as a ranger.
All right. Yeah, you're a very lucky guy. It's really good to have a job you're passionate about because it doesn't always feel like work. Getting to be out in nature and exploring and learning. Yeah, a lucky guy to have a career doing something you love.
Yes, every time when, despite that, with half of my time I spend in national park, despite that, when I'm going in Vashlovani protected areas, every time it's different. You can find something new, and it's such interesting that no one can study it till the end, and that's why it's very interesting. Especially when I'm making photo traps, when I'm installing them, and after 1 month, after 2 months, when I am checking, it's very important moment, and with I'm checking that there is possibility to find new animal. For example, leopard, or for example, hyena, because we had with animals about 10, 15, 20 years ago, and we hope that they will come back again. And that's why it's it's very pleasant to check such points.
Yeah, yeah, very exciting. Always new surprises when you check the camera traps. That's great. So no, kind of one more question before we bring Khatuna back in. Do you find one of your roles, one of your jobs as a ranger, is an educator as well, teaching youth about the animals in the protected areas, teaching members of the community? Do you find that part of your job?
Yes, because from my childhood, because I was interested in this job, I decided to study in this direction, and now it's my profession. And many people around me and around us are interested more and more. They are interested in the protection of the nature, and many people have. Idea, and they wish to get place in such job, and that's why we have some eco clubs, also another young ranger programs, still with the friend association of Vashlovani. I am member also of his association, and we are making different projects with them. Sometimes we taking pupils from schools, some students, on monitoring of animals. For example, when I am going on monitoring of gazelles to find them, we take members of with young eco club members, and I feel how they are happy, and because I remember what it was starting point of my profession, because I loved in nature and in national park in the same moment, and I think with direction is developing, and more new generation are interesting to be rangers or to be people who will protect nature
Yeah.
from their own profession.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Vaja, thank you so much. I'm going to tuck you backstage for a few minutes, and I'm going to bring Khatuna back, and we're going to meet our special guest. So we'll see you in a couple minutes.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Khatuna, welcome back. I know you've got a special guest, a young ranger joining us today. So I'd love it if you could introduce her, and then maybe we could ask her a couple questions.
Yes. So before I introduce young lady, special guest to you, I want to add short information. Khochiashvili National Park has sister park in California, and I had chance in 2010 visit Point Reyes National Seashore and spend 9 weeks in 9 different divisions of the park, as well as law enforcement division. And I worked a lot with U.S. park rangers, and it was huge experience for me. And we used some of this experience in Georgian National Park. So I want to wish all rangers happy Ranger Day, and especially Khochiashvili Sister Park, Point Reyes Rangers, and all the others as well. So now I will introduce special guest to you.
Good day.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for joining us today. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us how old you are?
Yes, good day. My name is Alexandra Matkava. I am 20 years old and I'm a student in San Diego State University on biochemistry. And I am a Khochiashvili National Park Youth Ambassador Rangers Chief Ambassador.
All right.
Do you want me to talk about this program or something?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to hear about the program.
Okay, so Khochiashvili National Park Youth Ambassador Rangers is a project that was focused on increasing environmental education among youth in Georgia through participation in field lectures, eco clubs, outdoor activities, and working with rangers specifically. So we worked a lot and we spent a lot of time with rangers. So we had the pleasure to know even on a little bit what does it mean to be a ranger and how hard, but at the same time how meaningful and how important their work is. So we were able to do the bird watching, bird banding, and monitoring with the rangers. We were able to ziplining and kayaking with rangers. They were providing us security and safety and rules, and it was a really nice pleasure.
All right. Excellent. And I wonder what got you inspired and so interested in nature and learning more about it.
Well, from the deep childhood, I was taught by my parents that we have to protect our nature and we have to love the environment we are living in. So when I was growing up, excuse me, something appeared on my screen. So when I was growing up, I was interested in sciences, and I was thinking about to become the physics science or an biologist. So when I entered this project, I was about 18 years old, and this was the thing that uh, played a very important game in my decision.
All right. Excellent. And do you know right now what you'd like to do in the future, or are you still thinking about it?
Well, as I mentioned, I'm in San Diego State University on biochemistry, and I think I will go on this profession, and then I will learn the ecology.
All right. Excellent.
Yes.
Very
So
cool.
I'm in this park to continue with rangers working and so on.
Oh, that's great to hear. It's great to hear. And do you, with the Young Ranger program, do you know roughly how many students are involved?
In our project, there were 21 students.
That's great. And then they get to spend some time in the field as well?
Yes, yes. We are still stuck together and we are still doing some eco clubs and eco activities together, even the project is ended.
All right, that's so great. And thank you so much for joining us today and sharing a little bit of your story. It's always exciting to see youth excited, learning about the environment, and then actively taking part in its participation. So it sounds to me like Georgia's future conservationists are going strong, and hopefully there's a great new generation of rangers coming up.
Thank you.
All right, excellent. Well, I'm going to bring Vaja back in, and Khatuna, if you want to join back in on camera as well, maybe you guys can both fit on camera. And I just want to start by saying, what a pleasure it was to have you joining us today and representing Georgia. It's so exciting to hear from some of the youth. It's so exciting to hear about the wild and protected places, and very exciting to hear about the new UNESCO World Heritage Site. So it sounds like there's lots going on in conservation in Georgia. And it's great to just meet two of you. And I know there's a whole great big team that's out protecting. So I want to give a shout out to your whole team of rangers and administrators doing such incredible work.
So thank you very much once again for giving me and my colleague chance to be part of this global festival. And once again, I want to wish all Rangers happy World Ranger Day. And the work that you do is really priceless. To keep the environment for future generations is such an important role, such an important. So I want to wish all of them lots of successes in future.
All right. And Vaja, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your story with us.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Joe. But we have possibility to get place in this conference and to share our histories and our job to many people. And happy Rangers Day to all Rangers of the world. And I wish them all to complete our main mission to save and protect nature. Thank you very much.
All right. And of course, a shout out to our young Ranger Alexandra who joined us. It was great to meet you. And thanks so much for sharing your passion as well with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great rest of the day, everyone.